Welcome back to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. We've brought our favorite co-host, well, the only other co-host ever to be on the show, Karen in Sneakerland. Okay, what's good?
Good.
Well, glad to have you back. We
So
had
glad
to
to be
bring you back.
here.
It's been a little bit of time since we've had you. So thanks for
Yep.
everyone listening. It's available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and obviously now on YouTube. But hit the subscribe button. Thanks everyone for listening. So we had to talk about, well, first let's talk about you because you haven't been on. So how's the summer been? What have you been up to? We'll get into that before we hit the topic of the day.
Oh man, summer's been flying by. I can't believe it's like end of July, almost
One
August.
third over for kids going
I
back to
know.
school.
I know. I know. It's crazy. I can't believe how quickly it's gone by. Just took some time off, went to New York for a quick trip. Didn't really find anything shoe-wise there, which I found
Shocking.
surprising. Well, I mean, it's not that I didn't find anything. I found nothing in my size.
Okay, whole different story.
That's the difference. That's the difference. I mean, they had lots of stuff that I wanted, but nothing in my size. So I was like,
Mm.
well, that's how it rolls sometimes. And then just working away.
Yeah, it is the summer grind right now. So speaking, you went to New York. I'm wearing one of my favorite WNBA players, Sabrina Ionescu, who went crazy at All-Star Weekend. Now has the record between
Mhm.
WNBA and NBA, the three-point competition, a record 37 points. She missed two shots in the entire final round. Unbelievable. So
Crazy.
bravo, Sabrina. We had to give it up, had to put the jersey on. I remember I bought this in New York when I was there. Like I bought it off the clearance rack for like $14.99. And I was the only one. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Why is this even here? This should have been gone a long time ago. It's like this was meant to be. So as I am obviously a big fan of the WNBA, this one had to come home, and it's cheaper than the average T-shirt. So
It
it was an
is. It
easy
really
wear,
is.
and
It
it's actually my size. So we're gonna roll with it. So
was meant to be.
yep. So I'm glad you're having a good summer, and obviously there's lots going on sneaker wise. This has probably been the more exciting of, call it, the 3 months of summer, and I don't even know if we get really 3 months of summer in Toronto. It'll be
I know.
we July or June wasn't even really felt like summer, but July definitely has. We
July
know
has
we
felt
don't
like summer.
Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna get in August, and then we'll get like a few warm weeks in September, and then
Yep.
it will be hoodie
And
season.
then it'll
I
be, and
can't
then
wait. I have a closet full of hoodies. My wife
then we're
hates
in
how many
fleece
hoodies I
season.
have, but we will get hoodie season, and it'll be hoodie season till May.
Exactly.
I think because I like wearing a hoodie so much,
I
fall has
know.
now become my favorite season because it's like 6 months or 8 months worth of hoodies that I can wear.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. At the same time, I'm like, all right, I'm tired of wearing hoodies and fleece
Well, if
after a
you
while.
work in an office like you do, and sometimes I'm in an office,
Yeah.
the air conditioning they can turn it up
Oh,
high
it's
enough that
frosty.
you
It's
need a hoodie.
frosty.
So hoodie season really never ends. It's
No, it
where and
doesn't.
when do you decide and you need to wear a hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So let's talk about the topic of the day because it's essentially it is the launch of the summer,
Hmm.
the Jordan 1 UNC, the
Yep.
UNC or the Carolina Toe, call it what you want.
Yep.
So, first question: did you buy it?
Yes.
Oh,
I
there
have
it
it.
is.
I
There
have
it
it.
is. So share
Yeah.
your thoughts. What do you
Yeah.
think about the release? What was kind of the emotions? Were you excited for this one? Like, where does this rank for you for the summer?
Well, okay. So with any hot release, I try not to get too excited because I know that there's usually an L at the end of the rainbow.
Mm.
Right? I
But I
haven't had
told
that
you,
much luck.
Foot Locker fixed the app. The app is
Yes,
better
you
than
did.
ever.
Foot Locker did fix the app because I know a few people who've hit on this raffle. And so I'm like, I don't know whatever Foot Locker did, but good job, guys. Good job.
Yay,
Right?
tech team. Yes,
Yay,
sir.
tech team. Yay for fixing things.
You
Yeah,
know.
so I try not to get super excited. And then, of course, here in Canada, our drops are 6 a.m., which is such a lovely time to wake up to possibly just hit an L. So it was mixed reviews. When I actually saw the notification that I won, I was excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this was unexpected. I know this was a hot colorway, something that a lot of people wanted. Um, my first UNC colorway, Jordan 1. So I'm
Come
super excited
on.
about that.
No way. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of shoes, and I don't see a lot of Jordan ones in the UNC colorway. So,
No,
okay.
so this is the first UNC colorway. So it was, something that I really wanted to add to my collection. I wish I had the patent leather ones
Oh, the
because
blue
those are,
chill. That is a beautiful one. That's one of the best ones.
it really is. So anyhow, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy to have this. I love the colorway. I love the blue that they've like the shade of the UNC blue.
Hmm.
And I like that the sole is blue as well. I don't know, it just I dig this colorway very much. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So it's interesting you mentioned that this is the first one.
Yeah.
So what other ones? You mentioned Blue Chill. What other ones were you interested in that you didn't win?
Honestly, so a lot of the um UNC colorways that came out before I started collecting,
Okay.
or when they were being released, I was just starting to understand the importance of this colorway.
Got it.
So, just I was going back looking through pictures of past releases just so I had an idea of what I was looking at and talking about. Like I know, there was the off-white release in
Yep.
the
That was
colorway.
like, oh, when was that? That was like 2017. That was like the second one that came out after the Chicago one.
Yeah,
And people
yeah,
went bananas over that one.
of course. So it's off-white, Virgil Abloh, it's a really nice shoe. I mean, listen, it's hyped. It looked great. Anything that Virgil touched was golden. You really couldn't go wrong with anything that he designed. I mentioned the patent leather ones. Those I think were the are the ones that I wish I could get my hands on.
You can. You're just gonna it's gonna
Well,
cost you one of your firstborn child. That's what's gonna cost you.
and that's the thing, right? And that's you know leads into another topic, perhaps for another time. I'm not sure, but
Sure.
like into the whole resale market. But yeah, like I'm not willing to spend that much on a
Yeah.
pair.
In actual fact, it's not that bad. I think I looked it up. It is like it's less than 600, but do you need to spend 600? And
No,
it is a women's one, so the fit we know is definitely
it would
different
be,
than
yeah,
a grade school or a men's.
yeah,
So there was that appeal to it. And
yeah,
again, the problem with the shoe, why it's higher than some other Jordan ones, it's the law of supply and demand. So
yeah,
in some stores, they had 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, like depending where you're at, there's
yeah,
lots of pairs. In
yeah.
a women's shoe, I don't know anyone that probably had more than I think the Nike boutique when it was open at Nordstrom. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Nike boutique. It's
I
gone.
know, I miss
Nordstrom is
them.
Audi
I
5000.
know, I miss that boutique.
Yeah, I think they had like I talked to someone that now works at Foot Locker, and I think they had like 24 pairs. I think that's what
Wow.
they had. So they didn't have that much, and it was slim pickings. It was there, it was out, and it was gone.
No, I know, I know. And then we have like the UNC to Chicago colorway as well. So I'm not sure how, I don't know. I mean, it's fine.
I love that shoe. So
Do
there's the
you?
high, there's the high,
Oh, maybe in the high. Okay, maybe
and
the
then
high.
and then there's the low. Like
Yeah.
I like the colorway so much. Like I would love the high and the low.
Yeah.
I've seen the high. I think if I were to weigh them, I'd probably say high, but I've been on a
Right.
low kick for years now. And like summertime,
It's a
All the
low.
highs get parked and all of the lows
The
come
lows
out.
come out. I
So
mean, Jordan
Royal
low.
lows, Chicago
Yeah,
lows, you name it.
the low is a great summer shoe.
Yeah. So this one in the low looks really good. And I know some people are also
Yes.
excited about the low. Which one is? Oh, I think was it low bread toe or low Chicago that comes out.
Yeah. This come out. Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be actually this week, and it's now pushed
It's
out at
pushed
least a week
right.
into August. So it's gonna
Yeah.
land on
Yeah.
Caravan weekend. Yay for us. It'd be so exciting. Lots of energy and something else to
Oh
talk.
my gosh, so much excitement in
Yeah.
that week.
So yeah, I think that one it doesn't because I don't think with that one there's not enough Carolina and there's a lot of black on it. And then with
There's a
adding
lot of
a
yeah.
red on it, it doesn't stand out like that one. Show us that one again.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, with the toe being colored and again the bottom being colored. So hey, everyone watching YouTube, you can see Karen is holding the shoe.
Yeah.
So there's lots of blue on this with
A lot of
the
blue. Yeah.
black highlights to it, and the collar is blue.
Yeah.
The heel counter in the back is blue. So you got
Yeah.
lots of blue, and this will wear very well. I saw a few people already on the street today,
Oh, already
very,
wearing
very
them.
proud, walking, just strutting, doing their thing because they knew they had the new
I
release
love it.
and
Yeah.
not everyone had it. So
No. And yeah, and I think that's partly where I'm at with the UNC to Chicago
yeah,
colorway, where I'm like, there's too much black on the shoe.
yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. So I think the one other one now there was a Zoom CMFT. That one's
Hmm.
okay. I think any of those Zoom ones is like I don't need them. Like I never even like interested. I don't even pick it up off the shelf to look at it.
Really?
I I
They're so comfortable to
I
wear
know they're
though.
comfortable. There's just so like I think when you think about choice over the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
10
yeah.
years,
Yeah.
you can only go so far. Like so hey, they make great mids. Can't even afford to get into mids if you're into highs. And if you like lows more
Yeah.
than you like mids, you can't touch them all. Like
No.
that's the reality of
Yeah.
just so much choice. And then they just keep pumping out colors. So me
Yeah.
as a sports fan, I look at say, okay, do I have a Jordan 1 for like literally every sports
Every
team?
team.
When you do that, it's totally unrealistic. So
Yeah,
you got to cap it somewhere. And then
you do.
between your highs and your lows, if that's where your flavor is, you kind of cover
Yeah.
everything off. But I think, in my opinion,
Hmm.
this relief is maybe, and I would say it's probably of the UNC Jordan ones, it's
Yeah.
probably fourth.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, it's like, whoa, this is a really good one. Like the blue pops, as you talked about, like
Yep.
there's a nice balance between blue and or sorry, between the blue and the black, and then a little bit of white to kind of give it some to lighten the shoe up. But
Hmm.
I think material wise,
Yep.
and I won't. And the off white is probably second, maybe
Yep.
third. It's probably third because actually the toe box of the off white one doesn't
Okay.
wear very well. Like it creases
Okay.
and you
Um,
pull a coffee. It's end a game. There's no sneaker solution or sneaker drop off center that you can get that
oh
it's
no.
done ski. Now I've been very careful. It has not happened to me. Um, and I think about my Chicago's every single time that I wore them.
Yep.
My boss was very fortunate; he bought it for me for Christmas.
Hmm.
So I'm very careful where I want. Like at least everything needs to be frozen and there's no drinks around. But like it's got to be. There's got to be like controlled environment. Kids, no, not wearing it. Just pick
No.
another shoe.
Mm-mm. Yep.
So there's that, which is kind of but the two that I like better
Yep.
material wise, I think the obsidian one,
Ooh, yeah.
that is the best of the bunch. And
Yeah.
what is so unique about that one is that the white is not white. It is an off-white
Yeah.
borderline cream, which
Cream.
it makes it look so much richer than the other. And
Yeah.
I didn't like it. And then someone got it for me
Yeah.
through Nike, and
Mm.
I love it. I love it. I think it's like texture and materials. That is the best one. And then I think you flip it with different laces. I think this is the second one.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
university blue. When you
Yeah.
change the laces and make it all blue. So now you notice with this
Yeah.
one, a
Yeah.
lot of blue. The
Yeah.
laces make it look blue. It's only the collar and the swoosh. Now put
Yeah.
yours up in comparison just so we can see it. You can see how much more black is on your shoe. Now,
Yes.
they've gone down the road of doing every coat. Like I think they started red toe, and then before that, OG there was black. There was the black toe,
Yeah.
which was the way that it came out. But now they've done green, they've done yellow
Yeah.
toe, aka the taxi. So
Yeah.
there are so many different ones. But what unique about this is that this material is not leather and that it's blue. Like they
Well,
don't make a lot of shoes where the toe, like the toe bumper
yeah.
is blue and then the toe box is white. So
Yeah.
when you look at this shoe and I think of the season, this
Mm-hmm.
one is for me a little more summery.
Yeah.
And I think it came with laces, it came with black, and a lot of people went black. It's like I decided, what are people going to wear? Great. I'm not going to do what everyone else is going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this, when I laced it up the first time with blue laces,
Yeah.
it's like, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
And that's why they give us alternate laces.
Yeah.
So you can pick yours and it's like, what is everyone else wearing? Because I wait,
Exactly.
I've had shoes for 10 years and I'm still waiting to wear them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I'm just sizing up what everyone else is doing. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
one needs to come out in like 3 years and then I'll wear it. And I'll wear it and say, where'd you get it from? That looks brand new. Oh, that's 10 years old.
That's
kind of how I roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then this one, but I think this one looks clean. I think that like that, the one that you have
Yeah.
will get a lot of wear. So I think if you're going to talk about like just flat out wearability, I probably would go Obsidian and then this one. But in terms of, I think how I like and how I would actually wear it on a semi-regular basis, when you have a lot of shoes, like there's no regular basis. Like you literally have to leave it at the door in order to wear it. So
exactly.
that one is one that I would say is probably the most or second most wearable. And it pops. Like I don't know how much Carolina you're going to wear, and yeah, you can wear white or you can wear other colors to bring it out. Like it depends how you can make it work. But yeah, that one is definitely, it's a statement shoe, and I think that's the kind of the why people gravitate to that shoe. And again, for those that don't know Michael Jordan, he went to North Carolina. He was there for 3 years, won national championship in his junior year. He made the game winning shot, and it's in like Carolina and NCAA lore. He ultimately, Karen and I have both seen the movie, the movie Air, and ultimately he ends up signing with the Jordan brand after people thought he was going to Adidas. People thought, he should make another move. Converse wanted him, but he was going to be just one of the other superstars they had. And Nike made it all about him and, created a brand, and the rest is sneaker history. And I wouldn't say it invented sneaker culture. I think sneaker culture was going long before then. And you see what breakdancers were doing, and
definitely
you see what was happening in the 70s, and even before that, Stan Smith and superstars, and even further back, you got Chuck Taylor's. But when we talk about the signature athlete, it totally changed the landscape of what they did for Jordan. And it's funny, I saw recently an interview on it was a clip of Charles Barkley. So Barkley talked about how he followed suit with Jordan, and Jordan convinced him after he had signed. It's like, hey, when you sign your deal, because at that time Charles Barkley had just graduated, he had went to Auburn, he was in the same draft as Jordan. I think he was the 4th pick, so it was Hakeem Olajuwon. They made the wrong choice in Portland. It was Sam Bowie instead of Jordan. Jordan went 3rd, Barkley went 4th, John Stockton went later down the draft. Barkley said Jordan told him, hey, when you sign your deal, here's the deal, but make sure instead of taking all of the money they're offering, give some back. Like say that, no, I'll take a lesser amount. But I want a percentage of my whole line. Everything that's related to me, I want a percentage. His deal became worth tenfold because he took Jordan's advice. And essentially we know from the movie, it's his mom's advice. So
exactly.
it's funny how that all kind of transpired and kind of worked out. So
Lesson is, kids, listen to your moms.
wow. And this is coming from your mom that's got two kids. And I don't think they'll ever listen to this episode. Maybe it's like, oh, mom was on a sneaker podcast. Maybe when, you know, I was a teenager, maybe my mom was actually really cool, way cooler than I even realized.
I
I
know.
think that's one of those things. This one maybe for the parents. It's like, yeah, parents, we need some street cred. We
Yeah,
need a little
we
something,
do.
something.
We need some street cred.
So I think this led to another question. And yeah, you know, I think there was obviously excitement. You know, you go to
Yeah.
stores, there's the odd GS size that's on the wall. There ain't
Yep.
no men's. Men's are all gone. You
Men's
go
are gone.
to
Yep.
Foot Locker, you go to Champs, you go to Livestock, you go to
Mm,
Capsule, you go to Size. There, it's all gone.
it's all
JD
gone.
Sports, the
All
enemy,
gone. Yeah.
as I call them,
Mm,
it's all gone. It's all gone. It's all
all
gone.
gone.
So, but I think what's unique is you look at the resale value
Yep.
for a shoe that's all gone. It's not that high.
No.
So, what is your thoughts? Like,
No.
what do you think? Why a shoe that is in such demand is not worth that much?
So I think a lot of it is market driven. Yeah, it was in high demand. I think yes, it was in high demand. I think also too, a lot of retailers were able to get the shoe out to consumers and not to bots.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think perhaps the demand, a good chunk of the demand was met for this release. Um, and so I think that perhaps, and maybe, you know, Nike released a larger number of this shoe. So again, supply and demand here. They had enough supply to meet most of the demand, and that probably
Yeah.
didn't drive up the resale price. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not to say like check back in a year or so and it
Mm-hmm.
could go up a bit. I mean, who knows what will happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's mainly, I think a lot of the demand was met
Yeah.
for this release.
Yeah. Fair enough. So I will be remiss because I did miss
Yep.
a shoe. When we talk about, you know, this shoe and I said it was 4, it's probably 5 because the best one is
Yep.
the original one. So the original
Well, yeah.
Jordan 1 of the
Yeah.
original set that released in 85, the
Yeah.
one that's got no black on it. It's
Yeah.
only blue. So the heel counter, the
Yeah.
toe bumper, the collar is all blue, and then the rest of the shoe is white. The swoosh is blue.
Yeah.
That one is the best one,
Yeah.
hands down. And I
Of
wish
course.
I've seen people wear it.
Yeah.
That is with like they're like I call them like the legend shoes because they're just not available that much.
Yeah.
Between that and the storm blue, I think
Okay.
those of the original set, so Chicago, Royal, obviously band not bread,
Yeah.
Black Toe, I said Chicago, and then
Yeah.
Storm Blue UNC.
Mm-hmm.
The Storm Blue and the UNC are the ones that don't get talked about nearly enough. But
Right.
I think those are arguably two of the best and they're so unique
Yeah.
because particularly the Storm Blue, he didn't wear anything that color. It wasn't a Chicago color.
Yeah.
It wasn't his college color. The closest thing to it is like his high school color, but there's no yellow on it. And they've
Mm-hmm.
made shoes. They made a Blaney one. So
Yeah.
it is a unique one. You look at it, it looks like no other Jordan 1. And all of those kind of have the same obsidian premium material. So it's like kind of this reimagine that they do with certain shoes. So going
Yeah.
back to my original question,
Mm-hmm.
do you think, you know, with this shoe now not having a high resale value, and I just kind of looked it up, the original retail was 180.
Yep.
StockX right now, you're buying this for 180, and we're talking US,
Right.
or up to 223, which isn't that high in
No.
comparison to
Yeah.
let's call it the unicorn, the original UNC one. That's almost 900 US.
Yeah.
The university blue, which I showed you, is like
Yep.
almost 350 US. Even you have the low UNC, which was readily available. It's not even a redone version with the black swoosh. That's 265.
Yeah.
And then the original version is like 300 plus US. So there is a lot of reiterations of the Jordan 1. Like we didn't even count, we're not even counting hyper blue as being
Oh yeah. No.
Carolina blue. And but that one is also worth that. So like it's really interesting with this one that it's not worth that much. And I
Yeah.
think from like we call general releases, this was
Yeah.
a general release, but I think a limited general release because there have
Right.
been other colors that have come out this year, last year. Like there, if you think about it, the value of um the Chicago Jordan 1 that came out, the remastered version
Yeah.
that came out at at holiday is
hmm
worth double what this is worth. So really interesting that this shoe doesn't have the same value as what I think it should have. Like, I think if we were in a time warp 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people would literally been fighting. And I didn't look at the news and see if people in the US were fighting because they seem to fight about every Jordan.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't see any news.
yeah, but
Like I
you
didn't.
see the horror stories of what happens with some of these releases.
Yeah.
You normally see something happen, and hey, there was way more energy about this Jordan 1 that I talked about, the lost
Yeah.
and found
Yeah.
at holiday
Oh my gosh.
than we
Yeah.
had with this shoe. We had more energy around the Spider-Man, called the very first one that came out. The other
Yeah.
one people don't like. It's almost kind of patchy on how it looks. But the one that came out originally, the one that actually looks like has like the Spider-Man dimples on it,
Yeah.
that's like $600 US
Yeah.
because it was limited and there wasn't a lot of them around. So
Yeah.
it makes you think like, are Jordan 1s, and there's
Yeah.
kind of be indications in the market, are Jordan 1s on a decline? What do you think?
I think definitely this year, the threes, fours, and twos are having their moment
Mm-hmm.
this year.
Yeah.
If you think about how many twos have been dropped so far,
Like we've been flooded with twos. Like
we
I know
have
last year
been.
was like the anniversary of the twos, and it was 2022. So there's no
Yeah,
other year you're going to take a swing and say
exactly.
twos are important. It was
Exactly.
the ugly stepchild for how long, and it's now finally getting some
Now
play
it's
in
getting
some
its
pub, and
moment.
now
It's
the
getting
now
its
the
moment.
market is just flooded with twos, and not all of them are
Exactly.
selling out, but I think they're doing it
No.
the right way. They're
Yeah.
not making twos available everywhere with a lot of pairs.
Yeah.
Like if there was like if stores got 100 pairs of twos, they would sit on those all year. Like you'd
They
not
would.
liquidate them. And even
Yeah.
you think about the OG twos, like they were in stores in GS for a very, very long time until
Right.
at some point this summer, and some retailers still have them.
So, I mean, I think we got inundated with so many different colorways for the ones where it was like, okay, we need to slow the roll a little bit. Like it was just too many, too much, too fast coming out for colorways. And I think that sort of, may have um removed some of the excitement and the hype and the
yeah,
the remove some of the star power from a one. Um, but I think with the releases of the threes and the fours, which I find interesting that, those are now becoming more popular than the one. Like
mm-hmm.
there's definitely more interesting colorways coming out, like we had or what was interesting was the combo baby of like the three and the one, like right, you the elephant print on the threes put on the one.
And I love that one. I wanted that shoe so bad, and like so the mid, the high didn't like it. Didn't like it. I
I like
saw
the
the
low
low.
better.
I saw
The
the low, and
low,
it's like I love that.
yeah.
Mortgage rates and the world, not buying that. the sneaker gods need to give me that shoe. I will wear
Well,
it and wear it hard. Sure enough, I went on my work trip
yeah.
and I was sitting in my room at a time I should not have been in my room. And someone knocks on my door and it's like,
Yeah.
who is that? Is that room service?
Yeah.
And there's a gentleman in the hallway with a trolley full of Jordan 1s and he hands me an
Get
elephant ear.
out.
And it's like, no, not this one. We weren't supposed to get this. And I
Huh.
sit on my bed and I open the box
Yep.
and it's like, it won't be that bad. I said, Lionel, don't look at the label. It's okay if it is the high. It is totally okay.
Yeah.
It was the low, and I was so happy.
Yeah.
So I've worn
Well,
that almost every single day since.
so I found that low on sale.
How is it already on sale?
It was on sale at a retailer. A retailer had it on sale, and I was like, I don't know
By
how, I don't
accident.
know why. I am not complaining, so I like scooped a pair
Wow.
up because I was like, I don't know how long this is going to, like, how long my size is going to be available for. It's on sale. I'm scooping it up. As a low, the print works better than it did on the high, and I think there was a bit too much of a discrepancy between the print on like the heel and the toe.
Maybe that's what it is. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that might be what it is.
If you look closely, there is a discrepancy on the print between like the heel and on the toe.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Someone had pointed that out to me, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, that's
That's
exactly what
it.
it is. That's what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think you make an interesting point. I think just like the threes, and I think they've really tried to be smart with, and I'm
Hmm.
looking over your shoulder, like I
Yeah.
see this white cement, and then I see the
Yep.
Neapolitan, and then
Yep.
uh there's a couple other
Um,
ones near the bottom there.
yeah, there's like the iris, the cardinal, the fire reds,
Yeah,
the grays, the pink ones. Like, I don't know. I feel like the desert elephants as well. I feel like with the threes and the fours, like I don't know if it's just like the color blocking because you have like the additional print on them. It
yeah,
makes them a little more different, and it provides an opportunity for design and colorways to be um, different.
yeah. I would agree. And then I think both the three and the four, it doesn't look like. I think if you think of the shoes that are on a wall today,
Yeah.
so you look at a blazer, an Air Force One,
Yeah.
um, names are escaping me right. Like anything that's gonna you have kind of like the big swoosh on it.
Yeah.
There's some great colors of the Nike ship. Like there's an
Yeah.
Amla one that comes out.
Yeah.
There's the white neutral gray.
Yeah.
We've seen the orange one out in years
Hmm.
past, and I think those shoes that kind of all look very, very similar. Like you're not really, and then throw
No.
in a Jordan 1, they don't look that different.
No.
But when you look at a 3 or you
Yeah.
look at a 4, it's only a 3 or 4. Like there's Team Jordans that they've made to look like that. It's called like the faux 3 or the faux 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a 3 is only a 3 and a Jordan 4 isn't only a Jordan 4. So
Jordan 4.
those
Yeah.
ones look unique. And I think maybe because the market is so flooded with the look of the Jordan 1 because it's been so trendy for so long.
Very, very much
And
so.
it's the easy one because it's
It is
it's
the easy
clean
one.
and
It is.
we didn't even say dunks, but dunks look just like those two from a
It's
distance.
just like a
So
one. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that could be something into play. And I think when you talk about the law of supply and demand, I don't be surprised if the brand is seeing that and it wants to pull back in Jordan 1s and only really make those special because they need to pull them almost off the market altogether, only to give it back to us in 2 to 3
Yeah.
years' time.
Maybe. Maybe.
It's all
But yeah,
cyclical.
it'll be.
We used to have
It
Jordan
is.
1s in Cortez like in pyramids for like $49 and $39. Like
Yeah.
don't be like look at the lost and found. Do you think that the
Yeah.
lost and found had a sale stick on it for a reason? No. Sale sticker because people didn't want to buy it. That's
Yeah.
what the reality is. They literally were having to try and give that thing away for whatever the sticker said, $79.99. But
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because now you go into stores and you see ones sitting on shelves.
yeah, we've had one sitting on shelves all year, but
Yeah.
not threes for the
Nope.
most part, and
Threes and
definitely
fours.
not fours. Fours are selling
Yeah.
out the day that they come out.
Yeah.
So if we rub the magical crystal sneaker ball
Uh-huh.
and we look at the rest of the summer,
Yeah.
what kind of catches your fancy of something you'd be interested in?
So, okay. There's a lot of Air Maxes coming out that I'm kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just like what Nike's doing with the vibrant colors coming out. You
There are a
have
lot of good women's colors. I think there's
there's a
better women's
lot.
colors than men's
Yeah,
colors right now in Air Max.
I
Air
think
Max ones and Air Max 90s.
yeah, I think you are correct in that. Um, a shoe that I'm looking forward to coming out, and I don't know when it's coming out. It could be not closer, it could be closer to the end of the year. However, when I first saw them, I was like, yeah, I'm not sold on these. But then I saw a second design coming out for them, and I was like, ooh, okay, we probably won't be getting them in Canada, but those are very nice. And those are the new Union ones that are coming out,
Yes.
right? So I wasn't crazy on the one pair that we saw images of. I wasn't I mean, I understand the collab is with BBS, so I understand the weaving on the side of the shoe. I appreciate the detail and the thought that goes into it, but I think the colors on it, at least in the pictures that we've seen, the whole thing, I was just like, I know it's so hard because in a picture you don't get to see texture, you don't get to see the colors up close because everything
Yeah.
in picture form, colors don't look accurate. But then when I saw the Elevate version of it, I was like, okay,
Oh, okay.
hold on. So the swoosh is green.
Yeah.
The elevated platform sole balances out the basket weaving on the side of the shoe better than it does on a regular one.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
green swoosh, like it just pops.
I co-sign that one. And you know what? I'll tell you, like Union has collaborated obviously with
Yeah.
Nike as a brand many times. Yes,
Yes.
the Union ones were it's the best thing they've ever done. Pick the
Yeah.
blue, pick the black and red one, like or
Yeah.
the what was it?
I know which one.
Black toe, the black toe version.
Yeah.
Like they those were the pinnacle of what they've done. But then
Yeah.
they've made other shoes like the Cortez, and they
Yeah.
look great, and you like the material's great, but like the colorways don't match anything that is in the market. Like I don't know what you do. Like do you buy that and just wear black, or do you buy that and wear like a all white outfit or neutral and let the shoe stand on the like I
I
think you can style it. Like
I
I think
think I think for like a Cortez, you just let the shoe speak for itself,
yeah,
right?
you're
You just have to
probably
let
right.
it speak for itself. The other, oh gosh, the Union fours, like the fours that they did collabs with. I was like, the guavas. I missed the ice guavas so much.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's actually
Anyhow.
there's a guava ice or guava ice Union um Air Max one that is coming later
Oh,
this year. It's beautiful because
I'm
it's got a
sure.
little, you talk about they put this woven part on the shoe all the time. It's
Yep.
very small, it's very
Yeah.
subtle. It's like almost where the shoe flexes, but
Yep.
it looks great.
Yeah.
So that
So
that is not even in the list of 50 shoes that I wrote down for the rest of the year. And not that I
so
want to buy them,
that's
I'm just saying trying to find highlights.
exactly. So those are the few that I'm looking forward to throughout the rest of the year. So what's on your list?
So I would tell you, like, as many fun shoes there are, I think the best shoe, because I have just a history, and I'm gonna be him on Instagram as Scholar. So Sean is like the
Mhm.
official Jordan 2 king.
Okay.
And he loves Jordan 2s, and I love Jordan 2s. Like, I'm not even in his class.
Yep.
Like, I'm not even his son's class probably for Jordan 2s. So he is the biggest champion. He will give you the history lesson. He'll give you everything about the
I
Jordan
love
2.
it. I love
So
it.
it's fabulous because, like, and when I see a new 2, or I see someone has made, like if Sue Surgeon makes a
Yep.
2 first, you know, Michael Jordan or whoever wants a special version of it too, I will tag him in it because he would appreciate it.
Right.
But saying that, I would say that the shoe that I will champion, and not that I need it, but it's the release that is very nostalgic to me, even though it only came out in 2006,
Hmm.
is the Jordan 11 DMP. That
Okay.
is, and I would say, hey, people buy 11s, they wear them occasionally, whatever. So, we had the pack,
Yep.
and we had, a few years ago, we got the DMP 6, and I
Hmm.
think that brought some energy, but the DMP 11, it's not quite the same. Like, the coloring and the cut is like, it's the new 11 cut, that one was like the original 11 cut from, I guess it would have been 2001, 4, 5, 6, that they've retroed.
Right.
You think of Concord Bread.
Hmm.
They did not Legend Blue, but the original Carolina Blue in 2001. They did Space Jam, so it was like the original cut versus the recent ones they've done with like the patent leather cut a little bit higher up the shoe. But
Yep.
this DMP is fabulous, and this is arguably the best shoe that will launch for the rest of the year. The other shoe, and I'm kind of stuck in the nostalgia era,
Yep.
is the Burgundy 5, because it comes out at the right time. It
Okay.
comes out in August, so getting close to fall. It
Yep.
probably should really, and don't be surprised if it gets pushed. It really should
Right.
come
Yeah.
out in September, October, because
Yep.
it's all over Burgundy. I have a
Yeah.
pair of worn and run mine into the ground. It's just, it wears so well.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing as the Army Green one, but those probably would be two that would be at the very top of my list of, if
Hmm.
someone's asking me what they should buy,
Those are it.
and don't buy it because of fashion, but buy it from a nostalgic piece. Like,
Hmm.
those are it, because the Burgundy 5 has only ever come out once. It's not an original shoe. It was
Yeah.
a special makeup, and essentially it was a special edition, and it only came out, I think, in 2006 or 7. So
Okay.
we've been almost 15, 16 years with no burgundy or olive green. I'm sure the olive green will make an
Yeah.
appearance next year, because
I'm
they were
sure.
kind of like a family. So some people got one. I ended up getting the olive first and then the burgundy, because I had friends that had the burgundy, and it's like, oh, you're a Commanders fan. You need the
Oh, you need the burgundy.
burgundy Jordan. You have to have it.
That's
Like,
right.
and I was like, yeah, you're right. I just can't find a store. I think I went to so many different sneaker stops, and I think it was still back in like the early 2010s, where it was very, very risque to buy something on eBay. And
Mm.
I rolled the dice because I had a great price, and it was not like brand new. It
Okay.
looked really, really close to new, and I
Right.
I took a shot. They delivered it, and it looked great, and I've run it into the ground ever since. So
As it should be.
yeah. So like, and I get caught up sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, I should buy this, and like put it on my shelf. And it's like, you should buy this and wear it, because that's what it's for.
That's what it's
Wear your
for.
shoes. Wear your
That's
shoes.
right.
It's not like, hey, I get it that it's a business, and it's an investment, and you got kids that go to sneaker fairs and they never wear
Yeah.
any of these things. They just sell them.
Yeah.
The root of why sneaker culture exists is because people wore shoes because it was fashionable,
Yep.
because there was a functional need to them,
Yep.
and it was ultimately just cool to wear. They created their own culture out of literally nothing, and that kind
Definitely.
of rode in combination. Like if there was a sixth element of hip hop, it probably would be sneakers. Um,
Probably. Hmm.
so it's really interesting that we still have people today. And I know we didn't want to touch the resale market, but you kind of can see it in the marketplace that it's not quite the same as it was. And I don't know if it's the
No.
pandemic where there was this law of supply and demand. Is it, we talked about bots, and the bots, they call it the pendulum is swinging in favor of the retailer, that they're being able to control or come up with ways that bots can't win. Like, I think if you look at
Yeah.
livestock, I kind of did an experiment for work,
Hmm.
and when you go and like you have to answer a specific question on a release
Yes.
in order to
Yes.
get it. And if you don't know the end, like go ahead, Google it on your computer. Like a bot can't do that. Like a bot can
No.
only do XYZ. So you kind of eliminate that process. So
Yeah.
because I think right now I wouldn't say they're gone, but unless a store is doing first come, first serve, and you line up friends
Yeah.
and family and you pay people on the street, as we've seen many years at the Jordan store and other
Yeah.
retailers, unless you actually do that, it is really challenging to get multiple pairs of the same shoe. The game
Right.
is just not the same,
No,
even
it's not the
from
same.
4 years ago. And for
Yeah.
those that want a pair, like you to wear,
Yep.
it's
To wear.
not it's not the same as it used to be, and it's kind of in favor of the
Yeah.
actual person that wants to wear it.
I feel like I do feel like the market is shifting sort of back into the consumer side.
Yeah.
Like I know I've gone into different retailers and you can tell the resellers.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking to some of the salespeople after they're done serving these people, they're, just it's an interesting conversation because they're like, I just want to sell a shoe where I know that it's going to someone who actually wanted it to wear it and not to turn around to sell it and make some kind of profit off of it.
Totally. But again,
Um,
it's a really interesting thing, like, people trying to police that though. Like, where does the line get drawn that you're not treating every customer fairly based on who is there and what they want? Like, it is a very gray area.
it is, but I think retailers are doing the best they can by limiting the quantity of a SKU number that you can buy.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't go in and buy 5 pairs of one SKU number in different sizes. They're like, you can only buy 2
Yeah.
of this one SKU
Or one.
number or one.
And you need to go home or send somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. I think retailers are doing the best that they can. Listen, I get it. For those in the resale game, this is your business, great, good for you. I think where I grapple with the whole business is that I think resellers serve a purpose in that if you have a shoe that you can no longer get or have a hard time finding, yes, they could be a good resource for you. But when you are trying to get your hands on a general release or,
i.e. Panda
perhaps,
Dunks.
I
Let me ask you, do you
mean,
have a pair or no?
no, I don't.
Wow. You stood strong because it's come out so many times.
So many times.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. One, it's a dunk.
You
I
have a
have a
hate
couple
for
of
dunks?
pairs.
Wait a minute.
I don't,
You might have to
it's
get
not
off
a,
my podcast.
it's
I'm
not a
kidding.
hate. No, no, it's not a hate for dunks. I just don't like how they look on my feet.
Oh, okay. You're
That's what
excused.
it is. I'm sorry.
I said you're excused.
Okay. It's just, I don't, and the lows are okay. It's the highs where I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like how they look on my feet. They don't look right.
Yeah.
And I know they're very similar to a one in silhouette, but there's something about the toe box where I'm like, I don't, anyhow. But I think that, resellers do have a role and can play a role. And I mean, it's your choice, it's your option, it's your money. If you want to go to a reseller to buy a pair, great. Support a business, support a person who's trying to provide food on the table, a roof over their head for their family. Maybe it's a lesson in entrepreneurship and then it's a jumping platform to something else for them. Great. Good luck. But and a part of it, and I do get in my feelings a little bit, so I do try to step back and separate those feelings from actual legitimate concerns. And a lot of that's like, it's not fair, right? But it is what it is. But like I said, I do believe that in some instances they do serve a purpose and can be very helpful and a good resource.
Yeah. I would agree with a lot of what you said. I think they definitely serve a purpose. I think from learning about how to run a business, you think of some of these teenagers that are involved in it. I think I think in time they learn how to treat a customer, treating people with respect, managing their money, investing versus reinvesting. This is like stock market that's widely accessible for everyone. You don't need a broker. You can be your own broker.
Exactly.
And I think, I think, retailers would tell you that it's great that sometimes that resellers want to buy up all their inventory and take it to another country to sell it because there's value. So there's definitely a role. And I think the resellers also help to create energy and hype around a certain shoe. So if the resellers are pre-selling a shoe, it must be good because some people follow resellers just to know whether a shoe is good. So there's 100% there's a role, and I think moving forward, sneaker culture needs to have resellers. I think when the line gets drawn is that when the resellers swallow up so much of the inventory that the actual person that wants to wear it now is paying through the nose to get it. Or the resellers are creating negative energy around the experience of getting a shoe. So whether there's fights or there's violence or there's, disrespect of team members that work in store, that's where it kind of goes sideways. And then when we're kind of getting in the general public involved, that has nothing to do with it, only so they can get what they want. Or when, kind of essentially they're picking people up off the street and throwing them in line to make them buy something just so they can profit. Like, I think from an ethics standpoint, and people can draw their ethics where they want to draw it, and people follow up like that. That's where I kind of see that it doesn't sit well with me. So, but I think in terms of growing and expanding what sneaker culture looks like and ultimately getting more sneakers on people's feet, like I think you just think of the energy sneakers have created over the last 20 years, and now there's more occasions for people to wear sneakers. People wear them to their formal. People wear them.
I know.
I had one of my managers, she immediately, the second that she said, I do, give me my Jordan 1s and let me put them on. This is part of
I'm
what's
surprised
happened.
you didn't walk down the aisle.
And I'm only saying this because I wasn't there. I would not be surprised if there were Jordan 1s under the dress the entire time.
I wouldn't be surprised.
She's that ingrained in sneaker culture. So I think there's definitely a role for them. I think how do they navigate where things are today, I think is important. And then that there's they ensure that there's a place for everyone. And not everyone is gonna have hundreds of sneakers like you and I. But I think there's a place that new people can get involved, people can be casual involved, people that want to buy the hypest sneakers that are not available anywhere, they can buy it from a reseller. Like I think there's a place for all in sneaker culture. I think is when we take over the market and hey, for 2 years we didn't let anyone have Panda Dunks because they bought them all and someone's got a garage full of them somewhere, but they're now realizing that the brand keeps launching them faster than they can liquidate them.
I know.
And now they're going to be they're now essentially going to be a regular shoe. Because that's what it's become. There's less energy on it. There's still there's the leaders of the culture, the people that are the first adopters, but then there's the people that are, yeah, I hear Panda Dunks. Geez, I heard Nas on his album reference Panda Dunks because it's been so relevant for the last couple of years. But
Yep.
now it's going to tell some kid that didn't know what Panda Dunks are that I need to go find out this, and maybe I should go find a pair if he can find a pair. But I think the market would by then if move beyond Panda, that
Yeah.
Pandas will go on the wall and eventually sit like
Sit
every other
there.
dunk. We're not we're close, but I think Pandas will eventually end up being like Nike. You can say like this: we are going to make it like an Air Force. It's just going to sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have 100, so no one needs to buy them all out because everyone
No.
has 100 pairs in every retailer. It won't matter.
Yep.
So because we have like you look at a shoe wall like in Foot Locker, there's 700 shoes.
Yep.
There's like 20 of them that are on the verge of selling out, or there was tremendous energy. Most shoes are there to show variety. They're not intended to sell out in 48
Right.
hours.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Panda Dunk is going to go down that road now. They're trying to make some reiterations of the Panda Dunk. So there was
They
the
are.
reverse panda earlier this year, and now there's a red panda. So it looks
Oh, that's
exactly the
right. There
same,
is a red
and it
panda.
has a red swoosh. It looks cool. It looks it's not a regular panda. So
No,
most people that likes dunks will be okay with that. And it needs a
for sure.
cool box. It needs to, if there was a red panda, they should have came out with that panda movie that was filmed in Toronto, or at
Oh,
least
yeah, yeah.
seen in Toronto, though the Disney one. That
Yeah.
would have been great if the
If they
giant
lined up
panda
the, yeah,
had panda dunks, like they could have lined it up. Maybe there needs to be a sequel and they red panda
maybe,
dunks. Maybe.
maybe.
But anyways, hey, I'm telling you, if you want my idea, um, for everyone that works at Disney, there's a commission fee for that idea. So
There's
please don't think you can listen to this podcast and steal it.
exactly.
I want my share. I want 0.1% of your entire company if you would like that idea.
That's nothing.
Not asking a lot, but that's
No,
that's generational wealth based on what Disney makes.
exactly.
So, anyways, so I think some very interesting conversations that we've had. Obviously, we didn't mention some of the other launches.
Yep.
There is obviously a new Jordan 38 that will come out in multiple colors, including a WNBA color and the
Mm-hmm.
fundamental, which is the black and white.
Yep.
There's the red cement Jordan 4, which you know what? Honestly, that is like the white Oreo Jordan 4, and I hate it. I hate it still. I will
Yep.
never own it. I will never want it. I would give it back to someone who's big enough. Maybe not because I didn't buy it, and I did, but I was like, I'm dead scared. And says this is not an Oreo. An Oreo has black in it. This has no black. There's not a gray Oreo. Like, don't call it what it's not. And if you think about the
Aren't
shoe,
female Orioles gray though?
um uh so this one had an Oreo sole, but it
Okay.
was like speckled with black, but they
Oh,
call it
okay.
like the white Oreo. But it's not an Oreo if it doesn't have a black cookie to
Gotcha.
it. So the original Oreo that came out in like 2002 and then retroed again was all black with like the Oreo midsole.
Oh,
White
I
Oreo
see.
was just a terrible idea, and someone should get fired for that. But anyways, so
Don't
there's the
hold back,
Palomino
Lionel. Don't
3.
hold back.
No, I'm just saying what I want to say. But anyways, that's not happening. They just gonna keep making Jordan 4s until they run it into the ground. So there is we talked about the UNC one.
Yep.
So this is actually recorded on the 25th. It launches tomorrow on the 26th. And then just quickly looking, so there's it's interesting to think about the craft series. I think it's been
Yep.
I think the materials have been very good, but it's been very hit or miss. The Craft
Mm-hmm.
5, I think, is great, sitting on shelves. I think
Yeah.
the Craft 1 is an underrated shoe. All the
Yeah.
retailers that do have it, so
Yep.
Capsule and
Yep.
Livestock and
Yep.
JD Sports, it's still sitting there in all
Mm.
sizes if you look online. So there's a what was it? There's a Craft 2 coming out, black vanilla.
Right.
And you can't
Right.
tell because I don't think the image it's like a drawing instead of what I've seen online. It's a drawing and actually not a picture of the actual shoe. So
Right.
we'll have to see what that one ultimately looks like. I said Burgundy 5 already.
Yep.
There's a cool in July, and there's a lot of shoes in July. There's a
There are.
Filipino or it's an Air Force One Philippines. So if we're
Okay.
in the Toronto market, we'll go
Yep.
crazy.
Oh,
I
yes.
actually just briefly saw the end of a World Cup highlight match, and I think one of the
Oh,
host countries, which is New
New
Zealand, it's New
Zealand.
Zealand,
They
Australia,
played,
they
yep,
lost one
they
nothing
to
to the Philippines,
Philippines.
and
Yes,
the Philippines was going crazy. Like
I
wow,
know.
like I think like they will have a national holiday for the team because
They
they
will.
won one match, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there is an Air Force One, the second colorway of the Terror Squad. So this one is like almost like a white and purple. The first one was white and black. But I
Mm,
went to look at the what was it retailing for, the original color.
yeah.
So Terror Squad, it's part of a rap, call it group. Big Pun was part of it before he passed. Fat Joe is kind of the head of it. It was $1,100. That was the
Wow.
retail because it was very limited. It was borderline friends and family.
Right.
So there's that. But then I think the other shoe that I kind of didn't mention was the Frozen Moments Jordan 4. So I
Oh,
think a
yes.
lot of people,
Those
I
are
need to
very nice.
see it to say
You see the gray?
how much it how well it looks, but
Yep.
I think many people are saying that that might be the best shoe
Right.
this summer. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be better than the UNC one. I think that one is just like looks clean. You can wear it with many things. Frozen Moments, I think, is a definitely a statement shoe. I just don't know
Definitely.
how much you can wear that item.
But it's gray.
I know it's gray,
Gray
but
and
it's like,
silver. It's gray
but
and
it's
silver.
but see,
Like,
silver is different in my opinion. Like gray is gray, silver and gray is a whole different game. Now, you can tell me otherwise. I just don't think you can wear that on a regular basis.
I think you could. I think you definitely would need to have, yeah, I think you can do it. I think you just need to be aware of what is in your wardrobe and how to style it,
Okay.
right?
So
I think, yeah.
I was saying it's a women's shoe. I fully expect you to find a way to get it, and I fully expect you to show us how it needs to be worn. Karen,
Okay,
I'm depending on you now,
okay,
so don't let
okay.
me down. And I think
Listen,
the
if you saw my post today, you'd be like, yeah, I
oh
don't
no, oh
know,
I
girl.
know.
I don't
I'm
know.
trying not to bring it up. So if you follow Kay in Sneakerland, we love outfits, and I think Karen and I post outfits. This is what the outfit looks like today. She has a great mirror in her gym at her law office, shows the whole outfit. She comes up some very creative things, and it's like she's pushing the envelope of what it looks like you can wear sneakers at this. No one is saying nothing to Karen.
Oh,
The outfits are fire, and and I'm not sure why there was such dismay with today's outfit. I thought it looked very nice. It was
it
cute.
was fine. It was
But see,
fine.
that's the problem, Karen. You say it's just fine.
It was
Fine
just
doesn't work
fun.
for you.
I know it doesn't. That's why. But then I turned it into like I turned it into a positive note post where it's like, yeah, some days are hits and some days are not a hit, and today is not a hit.
So many days, Karen, your outfits are 10 out of 10. If you
Yeah.
have an 8, so you're allowed to be an A minus, okay? So cut yourself a break and we'll keep it moving. I think for everyone that follows you and you listen to it today, go back, Kay in Sneakerland, go and look at yesterday's outfit.
Yes.
You know Karen is coming back tomorrow on her last day of work. She's going to redeem herself.
Yeah.
She's coming with a fire fit. Like we're coming with the 14 out of 10 outfit
I
tomorrow
have to
as
now.
as her Friday on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Friday is hump day for Karen tomorrow. So we're all gonna wait. What is gonna be the feel good outfit that she's gonna give the peace sign to everyone at the office? Enjoy the rest of your week. I am out of here.
So I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised. And then there are a pair of shoes going to be worn tomorrow that has not been seen yet.
Oh, we'll
And
have to wait. We'll
they
just have to wait.
and I'm not sure, I have not seen anybody wear these on the street.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up here, Karen. So again,
Yeah.
much appreciated for you jumping on. I think because you got the shoe, we have to talk about it. I think we had
Absolutely.
a very good comparison. I think
Yeah.
you've giggled 10 times. So I think the episode, if it's only funny to you and I, so be it. There will be others. We will just have to put it in people's inboxes and
Yeah.
let's see what happens. But pleasure as always. We will definitely have to have you
Always.
back next month. We will chop it up about something else, but
Yep.
we can talk about fall outfits because hoodie season is on
Hoodie
the
season
horizon.
is coming. It's
So
coming.
thank you everyone for listening. Another great episode of Sneaks Rhymes in Life. I'm your host, Lionel McDonald, with Karen Leroux. So appreciate you all. Thanks for being here, and we catch you on the flip side. We out.